no, the world is being taken over by autistics! Hi, my name is Stephanie, and today I wanted to address the question, why do so many people have autism now? See, I am delivering on my promise, where I told you earlier this week that I would answer it, so here we are. People have a lot of theories about how autism comes about, many of which are not medically nor scientifically supported. Vaccines, blaming the government, food impurities, chemicals, technology, and more. People are concerned about the rising number of people with autism. Some people even think that it's just a fad now, that these doctors are just handing out all these autism diagnoses just like it's candy. But from my own personal experience and from talking to a lot of people on the spectrum and those suspecting, doctors are very, very reluctant to diagnose people with autism spectrum disorder, and a lot of them are very misinformed about what autism is in the first place. So if these doctors aren't just throwing diagnoses at everybody, what's going on? Well, a few things can explain the increase from my perspective. For example, I was diagnosed at 23. So say 20 years ago, I wasn't counted in the people who had autism. Even though I've had autism the entire time, I just didn't have a diagnosis for it. So compared to 20 years ago, I'm part of the rise in number of people with autism. Many people are now getting late diagnosed. That means we're getting diagnosed after having maneuvered through life already, not understanding what's going on with us, trying to grapple with this very neurotypical centric world on our own without support, help, or answers. All because we are just now beginning to have a better understanding of what autism is. We have a lot more understanding now than we did, say, 20 years ago. Now we know that both females and males have it, and people are beginning to question whether females are such a small percentage of autism because we now know that autism is presented differently in females. In addition, we see autism as a spectrum now, so that means that more than just those on the severe end of autism are being diagnosed. And to add to all of this, the DSM-5 changed a lot of different diagnoses into all the autism spectrum disorder. So, for example, Asperger's syndrome is now part of autism spectrum disorder. So now everyone who had these different diagnoses are considered to have autism. And I did have an older friend argue that, well, they never grew up seeing people with autism or acting that way. They'd never really heard of it. It was not a thing. But the thing I had to point out to her was that for one, we didn't have a great understanding of autism. For two, she lived in the country. And three was that mental illnesses, developmental disorders, whatever, all those sorts of things that are very different would be so stigmatized that no one would want anyone to know that their child or someone in their family had it. They'd try to hide them away, or they would send them off to an institution because they just thought they were crazy. They didn't know how to deal with them. I mean, imagine people who had adults having meltdowns. They don't know why they're doing that, or eloping, which is not the marriage kind, basically running off. Why are they doing that? Why are they freaking out? Maybe they're just mental, so they would put them in an institution because we just didn't have a whole lot of understanding of what was going on. So in my opinion, it's not that autism is spreading or that so many people now have autism. I think it's more like now more people are being diagnosed with autism. Now we're starting to identify those people who fell through the cracks, and they didn't slip, they just fell completely through the cracks because we just didn't have a very good understanding of what autism was. So is my theory correct? We'll only know in many, many years after we've determined the criteria for autism and stop changing what autism is, once we finally fully understand it, and once we start understanding more what it looks like in females, what it looks like as you get older or when you're younger, and what to do with those sorts of things. So once everyone's been, I guess, kind of caught up on being diagnosed and such, as long as there aren't like significant changes through a lot of years passing, we can see if my theory is correct. because then you'd see more, maybe a steady or drop off or increase. I don't know, I guess we'd find out. But I really think that it's definitely something to consider because there are a ton of factors that would definitely lead to a hike in people being diagnosed with autism. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below, and I hope that you'll hang out with me for tomorrow's video. It's actually a little more personal, talking about my personal life and some things that we kind of missed that could have pointed towards autism, or maybe just some strange childhood things, you know, whatever. I hope that you've been enjoying these videos. If you liked this one, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and if you'd like to hear more from me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Now, other than this week, normally I upload every Thursday at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. I hope that you're having a wonderful day and have been having a wonderful week. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!